Hey, welcome back to Innovate Africa, and in this edition of the show, we're going to be talking about Africa building the world. Not just the world, but building itself. What am I talking about? Well, on our continent, we've got a very young population compared to what's happening in Europe, where they've got an aging population, for example. They also don't have access to a lot of tech talent. The bigger companies are gobbling them up. So where does the opportunity actually lie? The opportunity lies, I believe, in us building phenomenal tech talent. We've got great universities on this continent, and we've got a lot of other people working outside of the university system, working on tech skills, future skills, etc. We should be getting those young people that are being trained, being taught to build solutions in Europe, solutions in the United States, but also solutions right here at home. And there's one company that's doing a lot of work along these lines. I mean, obviously, they've started up, they're focusing on South Africa, but there's potential. It's a company called Frontier, and I'm going to introduce you to Wisani Hlangwane, who is the founder, at least he's the co-founder. So, Wisani, thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about Frontier. It's great having you here. Tell us about the work that you do.
Okay, so we help businesses with outsourcing specialized tasks to a distributed workforce, right? Because we noticed that so many tech startups, they struggle with scaling their tech or actually onboarding clients to actually use their technology, right? So we come in with the non-technical part of things, and then obviously if they need specialized technical services from us, we also help with that, right, to actually help them with expediting the onboarding and going to market so that their tech can actually be used by actual customers in the real world, you know. So that's our specialty at the moment.
Unpack that for us in more detail by way of example.
Okay, for instance, right, say a scale up. So like we have a client, the company is called Ayoba, right? So now Ayoba came to us like because they have a huge, digital presence and platform trying to actually onboard so many Africans, because like it's a super app, right? So they came to us to actually help them onboard SMEs in South Africa because they have this thing called services, but they didn't know how to actually get in touch with those businesses onto their platform. But because we Frontier are on the ground and we have connections like all over the place, we were able to like reach out to those SMEs and then onboard them onto said platform.
So essentially what you're doing is you're representing a distributed workforce, which you bring online for bigger clients like corporates, for example.
100%, yes. Because I mean, like our value proposition is to help companies save costs and also get great talent at a faster rate, right? Because I mean, like you can imagine an employee might take a lot of time to deliver on tasks, right? But like if you come through us, something that might have taken a month can take a week or 2 weeks, right? But I mean, like we try to get the best talent to customers.
Now, I'm sure the big challenge is to decide which skills you want to represent, which skills you want to take out to the world, you want to use to build the world, as I pointed out earlier. So let's talk about the skills that you represent within Frontier as a business.
Yeah, so this ranges from project management to computer science, blockchain, because I mean, like it's a pool of tech and non-tech talent, right? So it's marketing, business, technical services like your AI, machine learning students who can actually execute these complex tasks at scale and be brilliant at the execution.
Now we've established that you obviously building in South Africa. I spoke about Africa building the world once again. That is my theme. What is the potential of this business scaling to a Europe, for example?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Because I mean, just in SA alone, there are over 600 VC-backed startups. But I mean, besides that, there are over 3,000 SMEs who are generating revenue are active in the market, right? So I mean, we imagine if we just got like 30 of these businesses, right, just in SA, and then if we look at the US, the UK, and those countries, I mean, like there's so many startups on a daily that are being started, making money, VC backed, and things of that nature, right? So the market is like incredible, like it's there.
All right, so this could work anywhere in the world.
It can, right? I mean, so for instance, like we are trying to go to market at Switzerland, right? Helps Swiss companies, also Ireland, right? Because I mean, I went to a BISA event, right? Business of Ireland and South Africa thing, and I was exposed to Irish businesses that could like use our services, right? And obviously, if they can need our services, then obviously others can or would want to engage us, and then obviously take it forward.
Wisani, I'm also always very interested in the founding story. How did this all begin for you?
Okay, amazing. So I started in investment banking, right? So like I studied finance, right? And I wanted to be like a VC, a private equity guy, right? And then that quickly changed when I actually didn't like how rigid that industry was, and then I was like, okay, cool, I want to be like the guy that does the work, right? Because I love the game, right? Like I the game actually gives me life. So and then that's when my entrepreneurship journey started. So like I started in property development and investment in my first year, and then I later realized that this is like capital intensive. It's hard to actually scale. So I dumped that, and then 2 years later, I started like an e-commerce business to help township businesses know the marketplace to trade, transact, things of that nature. And this was in 2020, right? Pre-COVID, yeah, right. And like that business didn't actually scale because I mean like we were too early in the market, right? And then 2 years later, I started in crypto, so like as a crypto trader and investor, right? And then I learned, whole Web3 jargon, traded, made some money and everything. And then in November 2022, there was a soft market crash, right? And then I lost most of my money. And that actually prompted me to be like, okay, what's up now? Where to now? And then the year later, November, in Jan, I started with teaching people about crypto on LinkedIn. And that actually transformed into me consulting for other Web3 companies wanting to go to market in South Africa, right? And then, the consulting gig started, and then about 2 months later, I landed my first client, and then Frontier actually formed, right? And then it was a consultancy, I did consulting, but I didn't really like consulting. And then in 2023, I formalized everything, like my whole crypto journey and startup journey to package it into like this startup that helps other businesses, with scaling solutions. Because I mean, like I had tons of experience like on the ground, and I did have skin in the game, right? And then it was easy for me to actually pivot into microtasking, and outsourcing, and serving my first love, which are like SMEs, startups, and yeah, like 2 years later, here we are. We're still going on the up and up. The team is growing, generating some revenue, onboarding new clients, and it's just fun, right? Because I mean, Frontier was a fun way to make money at the frontier with Frontier Tech. So yeah.
I heard you use the word we. Who exactly is we? And you also said that you were non-tech founders, if I heard you correctly. How did you overcome the whole non-tech side of it?
All right, fantastic. So it's actually crazy, right? So the we is my brother, my co-founder and CTO, right? So, I mean, we have been starting businesses like all our lives, right? So it was so easy for me to actually go to him with Frontier, like show him the value add. And he was like, oh my God, I want to jump on this. And then like he came in, and then like he finessed, right? And he just flexed his tech muscle and like started building a V1 of the product, And then, a year later, so this is 2023. So just this year, like we just hired 2 new devs, right? Like blockchain devs and AI to come into the internal team to actually help him with the tech department so that like he can build, like the best tech with the best talent out there, right? Because I mean, these like new hires are directly from the University of UJ, the blockchain center. So you can imagine that it's top tier talent directly from the source, right? And yeah, like they doing that with him, and just now, the platform is being built, the blockchain component is there, like it's all happening.
All right. So where does blockchain actually fit into Frontier?
This platform is trying to help grads, professionals with having skin in the game, because I mean, so many people might say they can do X and Y, right? However, when it's time for them to show, they cannot actually show it like in the practical work environment. So like with blockchain, like we have, reputation management. So like it's easy for an employer or like whoever to actually see these people's like resumes in real time on the blockchain. So if they're learning a new skills, if they're completing tasks at a high rate, like it shows that these people are actually the best of the best. Therefore, it's easy to trust them.
All right. Now that makes sense. You building those credentials and you saving them on the blockchain.
Yeah, so like we are building up credentials and storing those credentials on the blockchain.
Now, the one reason why and I say this often enough, the reason I actually created Innovate Africa is to connect businesses like you to opportunity, potentially scale opportunity, potentially funds. But if I had to ask you about a client, what would your ideal client look like for Frontier?
So like our ideal client, a class A type of client for us, right? As a company that's generating well over R1 million or dollars like in annual recurring revenue, right? So these are guys making money, right? The team is between like 2 to 250, like that's a mid-sized type of company, and they obviously in tech, so like it might be IT, ICT, health, fintech, right? So yeah, I mean they tech heavy and they just trying to scale and just like operate at a much higher level, right? So they would engage us to actually help them with getting that extra talent to help them like move at a faster rate.
So Ayoba's a great story, right? But what other great stories do you have to demonstrate your success?
Like we also worked with a new founder, right? So this founder actually they wanted to develop an app, right? So like it's car wash, cleaning, that sort of thing, right? So like they needed to have like an app to actually like test out their thesis. So like we helped them ideate that app and then build it, right? So like our team and microtaskers actually were in charge of designing the UI UX, the software, everything, right, to actually help this founder to actually realize their vision. So that project is still underway. The client is still happy. It's still going. And then now, like just 2 months ago, we onboarded a new client, right? So this new client is a crypto/fintech wallet. So they need to go to market and kind of onboard a new like partners to actually adopt their tech and like roll it out to customers. Say like a spa, right? So imagine if a spa could adopt a wallet and spa customers transact with that. That's another example. So like another one is a popular company in South Africa called Botale AI. They have these AI bots, multilingual bots to like customers to engage in any South African language, right? So like we were in charge of helping them get more customers to like actually test this product and sell and onboard users to
Wisani, on the one hand, you've got the skills that you present to businesses, medium-sized businesses, larger businesses, saying, hey, we can help you build quickly. But there's also a skills flow into Frontier. Which type of institutions do you work with, do you prefer working with when it comes to those skills flowing into Frontier?
Amazing. Yeah, so the types of institutions are, the big quality universities in the world, right? So like currently, like we are in partnership with the UCT, the University of Pretoria at the UJ, right? And like these like institutions have, computer science hubs, business hubs, right? So like we partner with all of those smaller hubs within this big institution, because I mean, in those hubs, like this way, you find the golden talent, right? Raw talent waiting to actually go and like flex their skill sets and knowledge and stuff in the real world, right? So like we have that pipeline. I mean, it's huge, right? And obviously, like we vetted them already, and we trust that these people can actually jump on a project like yesterday. They're ready, right? So I mean, yeah, like can we have those in play, and like at this point, we're just waiting to actually onboard, obviously, more globally. But now it's more of the demand side of things, because the supply side of the talent is there. We just need to give them these work opportunities.
And what does the future look like for you?
So obviously, right, having multiple presence like in different countries, that's number one. Another thing is having a solid team of, say, like 15 people like in-house, and the big thing is obviously generating tons of revenue to actually, make sure that the business can support itself and just have like crazy impact all across, the globe with the talent and the business community, right? Just being the hub, the go-to, right? Because like we want to be the market maker, between talent and business, and just like serving the needs as best as we can. So that's how our future looks like.
Are you open to investment at all?
100%, if it comes, it comes, right? But now the big goal is just to like have fun with it and just make money. But I mean, if people like are attracted at our value proposition, and they can see, that value, unlike us having to beg, but they can actually see that, okay, these guys are actually doing it, right? Obviously, like we can have that conversation, but like I think whereas we try to go out asking for money to, like it's better if we show that, guys, we have skin in the game, we're doing this, come join us, right? This is an open call to you to pack your cash with us and, like have fun with us, as opposed to us like being, like the poor child in the corner, begging. But yeah, but if it happens, it happens.
Now, all of this drive that I see is obviously fueled by a seed that was planted. So let's talk about your life story. Who influenced your entrepreneurial drive? Who was the one person, or maybe people, that you looked up to that gave you the impetus to get you where you are today?
Okay. So my upbringing was quite fantastic, right? Because I mean, like my father, was like, I was in IT, right? Still in IT, but I mean, as a baby, as a boy, like he used to like build houses, right? Like our family home, right? Like he'd get guys to like do, the building and like just build crazy houses, like big house, right? So like from that, like I saw that, like being a builder of things, right? Like translating your vision into like a reality is a thing, and then that translated into me just wanting to experiment with things, so like that shaped my upbringing. And then like I was an athlete, right? So like I'm a high performer, so that type of thing. And academically speaking, and my mom is smart, so like I think I got that from her, like in terms of loving books and academia and stuff. So like yeah, like I got A's and stuff. So I mean, that whole, like a father's a business person and like in construction and stuff, and like my other cousins are in mining, like as a whole exposure, I'm seeing like these fantastic things, and I'm like, oh wow, I want to do something I want to do, because I mean my path wasn't like channel that be this go to work, right? So like I saw exposure via osmosis and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, like I just have to find my way in the world and just not follow.
Finally, Wisani, what are some of your little nuggets of advice to entrepreneurs who are starting out? They look at your success and they're going, wow, I wish I could do that. But maybe you can give them some advice as a stepping stone or 5 to help them, get onto the path and potentially follow your example.
Yeah. Okay. So like the key lessons are firstly be a rational optimist, right? Because I mean, like you can be an optimist and just want to go hard and be positive all the time, but you forget being rational, right? Because I mean, like the marketplace or like a reality always feeds us like information in real time. So like if you don't match your optimism with that rationality, then you're gonna miss the vision and goal, right? So like you have to be a rational optimist first, and then I love saying this, that what's a mind if it cannot be changed, right? Because I mean, like if your mind cannot be changed, it means that you are not constantly learning and being exposed to new information. Because the sole purpose of a mind is for it to like learn, grow, expand, and see new possibilities as it lives life, right? So, and also like just have fun with it, right? Because I mean, like so many high achievers tend to like get stifled in high paying jobs, being a public success, but when it all comes down to it, they're not having fun. And then they change later, take pay cuts of like 75% just to go work at a charity, right? Because that's fulfilling, right? So early on, make sure that your work is your play, right? And your play is your work. And then, I kid you not, like you're just going to like be a success every day and have tons of energy. Like now I'm buzzing with energy, right? Because I mean, I'm having fun with it.
Man, now that is what I'm talking about. Lovely story, Wisani and Frontier. It's the type of business that we need to help us build this continent. It really has a lot of promise. We take that talent that we have, that talent that we mold. We then say to the rest of the world, we've got the best talent. We've got a great time zone. We can help you build. We don't necessarily want to go and live in Europe. We don't necessarily want to go and live in the United States. But we'll happily bring in your pounds, your dollars, your euros, and add value to the African continent. That, to me, is a type of business I think we should back. And this was Innovate Africa. I'll see you next week.